Good morning, students. Welcome to our new class of same Unit 1 topics continued. From Unit 1, several topics already we have discussed in the last classes. Today we'll discuss about software components. The software component means independent executable software element. Independent executable software element means what? That automatically performs its actions. Those are predefined. It will start its operation and complete its execution till its end. And ultimately, it can work as a standalone system. The software components are well-defined set of inputs, outputs, and interfaces. The software component can be composed of these inputs, outputs, and interfaces. The inputs, those to be executed, and the outputs, as a result, those we want, and the interfaces support it to perform its operations. The interface helps to provide the services of the components. The components have many roles, and all those roles can be performed with the support of the interfaces. Interaction between the components are done through the interfaces. The interface also helps to perform the interaction between number of components too. In some cases, there is a collection of number of components to satisfy the role of a particular software, and that role can be performed using a set of information present in a component, and all those set of information can be processed through the interfaces available. Got it? We can come to a specific definition of software component. A software component is a software element that conforms to a component model and can be independently deployed and composed without modification according to a composition. It is told by the council and handbook. This is a predefined definition. The meaning also contained inside it. It is a component model in which we can have number of independently deployed elements and many number of modifications if required in our composition, then we can also get it. The components will be defined, taken together, start its work, and modifications, executions, anything it requires, it will help you to perform. Okay. The software engineering deals with design and development of computer-based systems using the software components is called as component-based software engineering, CBSE. The component is used for creating a software, defining its operations inside the software, and this is performed through a computer-based system, and the computer-based system can be collaborated through a CBSC technique, and those will combinedly provide the benefit of executing a particular system. We can come to the objective of the component-based software engineering, CBSC. What is its objective? Its objective is to develop the interface between the software components efficiently. Many number of software components are used inside a particular system. We have to develop a specific interface that will help to collaborate the software components perfectly and perform its role perfectly. This is the objective of CBSC. If it is component based, then the features of component development, features of component collaboration, everything should be contained in that. Next, come to the importance of CBSC. Its importance is to reuse the existing components. The components, those are already there or already defined ones, can be used many number of times. As these are the independent executable elements, those can be used with any system, any time it is required. And those reusability feature is highly implemented in CBSE. The components are predefined, already made by the previous users or the same developer. Those can be collaborated together and reused in a particular system. Every time we no need to create the same component again and again. We can use it. We can go for certain advantages of the components. What the components actually performs according to its benefits available, It is highly implemented and used and appreciated by the users as well as the customers who are going to use it. The components are reusable. Some minutes before we have discussed reusable. The reusability feature enhances the system's capability. It decreases the time requirement. It also makes the system cost effective. The reusability code always provides many number of benefits like this. And the component reusable feature is also making it this much of benefited. These are independent in nature. The component contains all the information required to be executed in it all at once. So it is independent in nature. It is also one of its good advantages. Independently, it can be used inside a system and collaborated with other components to perform a particular system's role. It keeps the inner workings hidden to the users. The inner workings, the inside operations, what are performed actually need not to be known to the user. The user only requires the output. The output only will be utilized by the user. It does not have to bother how the computer is performing its actions inside. Got it? And the components provide this feature. It do not require compilation. The independent executable elements are previously compiled and identified that it is playing its role. So it no need to be compiled again. So compilation is also not required, means time is saved. And it uses well-defined interfaces inside it. And the use of well-defined interfaces strengthen the interaction between the components between one another. Okay? Development cost is reduced. According to the previous advantages, we can come to know that the features of component are making a reusability feature independently executed. It does not require compilation, and due to all these features, the cost also reduced for developing the system. Come to the next point. It contains language independent software programs. The software programs used inside it are language independent. So it can be developed, used inside the system as it wants, as it is previously. It does not create any other problem if any particular software used inside the system is not present at the end user side. So it is also one of the good benefits. Independent software programs are contained inside it. It uses specified standards to perform its role. Predefined standards are there, predefined techniques are there, using them it performs its actions. Complete documentation is prepared. When the components are created and collaborated and the CBSE creates a software, then this process performs a complete documentation so that whenever any modifications, changes required or any problem occurred, then those can be easily identified and cleared out. Got it? The complete documentation is a very good feature inside it. Then come to the software component applications, where the components are beneficial for the users. The software are used by different users and different situations. We know previously. Everywhere we use software components, software systems now, and the use of components inside the software systems benefit the user very well. And the software components are developed to satisfy the softwares to perform their activities very well for different applications. Those applications can be like your system software. The system software is very much important for any user. And the system software also contains many number of softwares inside it, like compilers, linkers, loaders, and many number of other supporting softwares. And those softwares are created in the form of a components, and those are collaborated together to create a software system software. Okay, then come to the real-time software. The real-time softwares are time-based systems. Anything that requires a crucial time period to be executed and it is time bounded system, then we can take help of the real-time softwares. And the real-time softwares are also the combination of many number of systems inside it, and those also can be created using the component based features. Then the business softwares. The business softwares play a role of performing all the activities of different business organizations. And the business organizations have many number of activities to prepare payroll, to perform sales and marketing advantages, to get decision making systems, and to satisfy the present day business needs, to support e-business system. For doing all the activities of the business related activities, the business software is highly important. And that business software is also a combination of number of components. And the component CBSE application is very well implemented in this case. Then come to engineering and scientific softwares. Now, almost everywhere the softwares are required, and in the case of engineering, civil engineering, architectural engineering, the use of computer softwares are highly required. And scientific softwares are very important for scientific research. And to get advanced features of scientific techniques, also we require many number of softwares. And engineering scientific softwares are highly important nowadays. To prepare those also, the CBS is highly important. Then come to artificial intelligence software, AI. The artificial intelligence that adds the extra feature inside the computer program that use its intelligence automatically, which is not present from the very beginning. The user have to feed all the programs. The user have to think all what the computer have to do, what the software have to do. The computer cannot think of its own. But the artificial intelligence provide the feature to add some decision-making features, to add creativity in the programs, and help the user in doing many number of activities in a quicker manner and using certain presence mind like that. And then we can take help of the artificial intelligence softwares. We can go for robotic features here. Then web-based softwares. Web-based softwares are highly important in the case of internet and networking field. In networking field, we have many number of networking softwares present to be used by us. We are sending information to different locations. We are performing e-business. We are searching any type of information whenever we require. We upload and download our required informations. So for performing all type of network-based operations, we require web-based softwares to use. And those web-based softwares we can develop using also this CBSE feature. Then come to personal computer software. The personal computers are nowadays with everybody, with the users. And the features of the personal computer are also a lot. And the feature present in the personal computer should be also collected by the user. Otherwise, he cannot make his operations possible. In order to solve his day-to-day requirements and develop a software, the personal computer softwares are highly important. It will contain all sorts of requirements of the users, and those can be supported for different operations inside the personal computers. By sitting at home, by at its workplaces, or moving anywhere, the personal computer softwares can be benefited. Those can be installed in the desktops, and all the applications we can perform using those softwares. Okay, these are the advantages of component applications and how we require the advantages to be implemented in such applications we have already discussed. Then come to a next topic, software engineering as a lab technology. The software engineering, what actually it means? From the definition we can know that its meaning. Software engineering is the engineering technology that deals with utilization of software engineering principles in an effective manner in order to develop a qualitative software to highly satisfy the customer's needs. The customer's needs are a lot, and all those needs we can add within the software. And in order to add the things into the software, we need specific techniques to be implemented so that those techniques can help us for developing the respective software that can highly satisfy the user requirements. And the requirements of the users are a lot, and the requirements we cannot stipulate, we cannot minimize, we can number it, cannot number it, how much it is. All those requirements we can fulfill by specific softwares, and those softwares can get its feedings, get its ideas from software engineering technologies. Got it? And on all those software engineering techniques, principles helps in order to satisfy the customer's requisite needs. Come to a definition of the software engineering. Software engineering is the application of systematic discipline, quantifiable approach to the development, operation, and maintenance of software. That is the application of engineering to software. The engineering techniques are moreover used for development, and the development is here highly required by the users in order to create a software. The operations those are performed inside it are should be systematic, sequential, step by step, ordered so that it can be identified and performing its actions very well. It should be disciplined, quantifiable approach that can be highly implemented inside the system. The operations and maintenance of the software system are also supported by the software engineering techniques. This definition is provided by IEEE. The software engineering is the combination of engineering techniques and different aspects of software development. Engineering techniques and also the software development features are added together, and combinedly it helps the software to be efficiently developed by the developer. The software engineering helps the developers to obtain high quality software using the total quality management technique. The total quality management technique provides all the benefits inside the system that adds the qualities inside the system, those can make the user benefited in every regard. Okay. Next, come to the layers. The layers of the software engineering. There are different layers present in software engineering techniques, and the software engineering techniques are based upon these layers: process layer, method layer, and the tools layer. The process layer is what? The process means the executable data that we want to execute, and those executable processes, the executable informations are present in the process layer. The process layer creates key process areas that deals with appropriate and timely submission of the software. The process layer contains different items, those are to be executed, operated for the system, and those processes are defined in the process layer. And for submitting the system in a proper, efficient, timely manner, all the processes required, all the modules required, all the steps required must be mentioned inside it. None of the points should be left behind. Otherwise, the system will have lack of efficiency. The system will not be proper. So the process layer contains all the requirements, those are to be added inside the system. Then come to the method layer. The process layer performs number of processes to be executed, and all those processes can be executed and provide their result in what manner? It will be provided using different methods, techniques, and those methods are available in the method layer. The technical support that is required for the software development for executing the information present in the process layers are present in the method layer. And the method layer may use many number of technical requirements, computerized requirements. Those are to be used inside it. Got it? Then come to the tools layer. The tools layer is that supports the process layer and method layer to perform their operations properly. The process layer identifies processes, and all those processes are to be executed one by one. And the method layer provides the techniques, the methods, the code lines, those to be operated, and all those can be supported through different tools. As the tools has much importance in every regard. For in a, if you'll go for a present day situation example, then for riding a cycle, we require number of tools to be used. We require and the adjusters, we require the balancers, we require the cycle chains and the cycle chain makers in order to create the cycle very well and adjust it when it is unbalanced. Without proper tools, the cycle cannot be well implemented so that it can be righted by the rider. So the tools will help the cycle to be all right so that a person can sit in it, balance on it, and put their legs on the pedals rightly and have his seat at the proper position. Then only he can balance and move from one place to other place. So without a set of tools, a cycle cannot be prepared and satisfying the rider's needs. Similarly, in case of software development also, the processes defined, the methods defined can do its actions using certain tools. The tools we can identify as the computerized tools, the CBSE tools. Those will help the users to create and create the needs and satisfy the operations those are required for the system. We can go for computer-aided software engineering tools in which the software engineering requirements can be satisfied. The software requires what type of operations, those all are available in the computer-aided software engineering tools, in which the computerized and semi-computerized requirements of the process layer and method layer are provided, are supported and executed by the tools available in the tools layer. Both of the needs can be satisfied by it. The CASE tool or the computer aided software engineering tool combines softwares, hardwares, and software engineering database in the field of computer aided design for hardware. For hardware design, CAD design, it uses the CASE tools. It uses the hardware, softwares inside it and the software engineering databases to store the data inside it, and it can perform the role as a CASE tool for executing the hardware in CAD. In case of application development, CASE are used for analyzing, designing, code generation, debugging, and testing activities of the system. These are the highly important features in case of software applications. Those are performed by the CASE tools. The CASE tools provides automated methods for designing documentation, traditional structure, programming techniques. The automated methods makes the designing process simpler, the documentation process more clear and accurate as per the requirement, and the traditional structure of the programming techniques so that the programming can be up to the mark, it can be well implemented. Okay, next come to our next major point. When a software is developed by a software engineering, then what actually it should possess, what the engineer's qualities should be so that it can develop a software very well. The software engineer must have many qualities, many skills, many knowledge inside it so that his work can be well performed in its place, what he have to actually perform. The software engineer has the overall responsibility of developing his software. The overall requirement contains what? Analysis of the information, designing, testing, implementation process of the system, and maintenance of the system. So these are different major requirements of the system, and all those requirements must be well satisfied by the software engineers. Without the knowledge of how to tackle all these things, without the knowledge of proper software engineering techniques, the developer cannot, the software engineer or the developer cannot do its role properly. So for that, he had to learn different skills. Those are to be present or should be present in a software engineer. The software engineer also responsible for on-time delivery of the system. And the system should be also within budget so that the customer as well as the developer can afford it to use. Otherwise, the software will not be well implemented, purchased by the others, the customer will be dissatisfied. He may have certain difficulties in solving the monetary requirements. So in order to make a right software with this much of benefits, like on time and on budget submission, the software engineer should be well planned. He should have enough techniques known. He should have good management skills so that he can play its role very well. The software engineering must have the following features, like it should have good problem solving skills. Problems are what? The software systems have many activities to be performed, and all those are the problems, and all those problems must be identified, tackled very well by the developer. He should develop a right set of codes, algorithms, and techniques of solving programming problems. Whatever programming problems are there, he should have a right set of codes, a right set of standards, a right set of methods for writing algorithms and using the structure standards available with the software development strategies. He should have programming skills. The programming skills contains the features how well the coder is coding for a particular system. He should have good knowledge in data structure and algorithms and should be expert in one or more programming languages and should have strong programming capabilities of writing reusable and efficient codes. Reusable and efficient codes are highly important. If a particular developer is highly programmed in its brain, have good programming techniques known to him, then he can reach at these benefits. The writing small set of codes for performing many number of applications also is a good skill in a developer. The design approaches. He should be familiar with number of design techniques required for development of software and use them in specific purposes. For solving many number of purposes, many number of design strategies are required. And all sort of alternate designing techniques, alternate designing approaches should be known to the developer, so that according to the need, according to the change in the need, according to the present day situation, the design approaches can be implemented. Got it? Then software technologies. In order to move over different software stages and perform their respective roles, the understanding and utilization of different software development techniques are most important. And those important features we can available using these software techniques. And the software techniques will help us in reaching the system's concept and reaching the customer's actual feelings, actual requirement. Got it? Then come to the major feature, that is the project management feature. The project management is what? How well the system is managed while being developed. The developer is developing, the operators are supporting, the uh, supporting members are doing their work, how well all those work can be managed, controlled, can be scheduled and performed by project management techniques. He should know how to make a project work on time and on budget in order to produce a quality application software and quality application systems what the user requires. The project management contains scheduling of different activities and performing all the activities in a well-planned manner. Then come to model of application. Software engineer should be able to create and use the model of application to guide choices of the available trade-offs that will be faced by him. The model also suggests the answers of different questions about the behavior of the system, what the system actually wants, what the system's requirements are, what the system's activity, what are the system's activities, what are the nature of the system, how changes it requires in the mid of the system. All these behavior can be identified and well planned to be executed in a proper manner. And preparing a model and using it for the specific purpose helps for solving the software development requirements very well. And preparing a model and using it provides a clear concept in the developer's mind that what the system should contain, what the customer actually needs, and what is actually contained in the system. We can view the model and verify all these things. Got it? Understood? Then one most important point is the communication and interpersonal skills present in a software development. The software engineer should be well communicated, good interpersonal skills, as there are a number of colleagues inside the software development process, many number of supporting people inside the software development process. There is also a main point how to handle the customer very well, how to motivate the customer in respective fields, how to add extra features inside the system so that it can be well implemented by the customer. This is because of his interpersonal skills. Those can make him able to understand the customers as well as the customer requirements as well as the present situation in which he is. Within the budget, he have to prepare the system, and also the customer should be satisfied. How this can be possible? Besides that, the motivation is required, and the motivation is inborn. The developer have good motivational quality. It is one of the blessing of his interpersonal skills, and due to that, he can easily convince the dev user to take a right system that is made by him. If the system is lacking certain drawbacks also, the drawbacks can be managed and settled and well communicated to the user that those are also benefited for him and he can use it, he can get benefit out of it. If in future if he gets any problem, then those can be rectified because we have the maintenance features. And those motivational qualities are highly managed by the developers, without which he cannot reach at the customer's thinkings. He cannot motivate the customer to be satisfied on his work. Understood? The communication and interpersonal skills, he has many personals in contact with them, and all those personals come in contact with the developer should be well versed, well communicated, should understand the thoughts and requirements of the developer. Got it? These are the major soft skills. Those should be present in the software engineer, without which the software developed will not be good one. The developed system may not be reaching at the customer's needs. The developed system may not be satisfied by the developer. The developed system may not get a good money when it is sold in the market. The ideas entered into the system may not be highly beneficial, may not be thought as highly beneficial by the customer. He should be well versed regarding the features of the system. And with all those qualities, he can make the software a well planned, well versed, and highly implementable. and that feature is present with the good communication skills of the developers. And with all these techniques, the software developer can prove himself as a good person, as a person who thinks about the customers' ideas, customers' requirements, customers' thinkings, the nature of the software's role. Got it? Thank you, students. Today we have learned this 3 points: the software components and the software engineering as the layered technology, and the skills of a software engineer. With this, today's class will end, and wait for the next class. We'll learn something more. Thank you.